sleep is very important. It's very crucial in our life, and there's a lot of reasons why. But for some reason, he claims, I've made a video about him already, but he claimed that he has the perfect sleep score. And given to the fact that I'm curious about, okay, what can be a perfect sleep score, and I would like to transfer that to you guys. And without further ado, let's get right to the video.
Friends, today I'm going to share with you 10 things that are going to change your life. I had poor sleep my entire life, and I just logged what is potentially the best sleep score in human history, 8 months of perfect sleep. Sleep is the most important thing a human does on a daily basis. I'm going to share with you what I did to achieve that perfect sleep score. They do not require $2 million a year, and I'm going to give them to you for free today.
Sleep protocol.
All right,
I hope this is not one of his videos that's gonna be a lot of things we have to do to get to sleep.
I've done to make this easy for you is
All right, let's hope it's actually gonna be easy, because especially before you're gonna sleep, you don't want to be doing so much, and we don't want to be doing that much. Also, we just want to find what's the quickest and easiest way to fall asleep faster and to actually stay asleep.
I've listed out the 10 levels and 7 days of the week. So tape this on the bathroom mirror or in your bedroom and put a star by each day you accomplish a task. When you achieve level 10, send me a note and tell me you've become a professional sleeper.
Bro,
Now I know that sleep doesn't solve all things, but it helps me feel well enough. And
sleep do solve, sometimes it does solve a lot of things, especially if you're going through a hard time, you're having a terrible day, you're feeling stressed, or for whatever reason, sleep can be a very big tool, especially if you don't want to deal with such with problems in life. Sometimes is a way we can use to actually get away and to refresh our minds and to have new perspectives.
Full of energy that I want to do everything else that's good for me. All right, number one is identify as a professional sleeper. Currently, grind culture is the dominant way of understanding sleep, which is you don't need a lot of it, and you're actually weak if you get it.
Money never sleeps, pal.
That's foolish. Don't do that. The wise thing to do is to make sleep your number one priority. You will feel better, you will look better, and everything in life will be easier.
True. Because when we don't have sleep, especially whenever you don't get enough sleep, the following day you're just miserable. And a lot of the time, especially if you're not used to it, because there are some people who are chronic non-sleepers. Basically, they can survive with little sleep and they can still function normally without much sleep. But there are some of us, the moment that our sleep pattern or just our sleep quality is disturbed or is out of whack, we suffer.
Two is to have a consistent bedtime. This is really important because you're telling your body, we do sleep at this time every day. So you can make adjustments in your life. Have dinner earlier, plan earlier, put it on your schedule. Think of this as your most important meeting of the day. When you show up to work on time or have meetings with your friends, if you're even 5 minutes late, you apologize. Don't disappoint yourself and show up on time.
I think that's gonna be the most difficult part, because having a rhythm, basically the same sleeping time every day, you have to, especially if you have a 9 to 5, if you have, like, say, a regular job, for sure that's gonna be much easier, because okay, every day this is the time you have to go to work and the different things you have to do, get yourself ready and stuff like that and travel to get to work. And yeah, that can help you, especially if you have, again, a rhythm that is the same every day. So with that, you can have a sleeping time, and you can also set it up on your phone at a certain time that the phone go and do not disturb mode and sleep function. So which means if you basically lose track of time, that your phone is gonna be a reminder that it's time to get to sleep.
Family, when bedtime arrives, Talmadge and I will stop whatever we're doing and run to our bedtimes. We do this tongue in cheek. It's funny because we're saying to each other, we respect bedtime in this family. We know we're going to be better family members with each other if we get our sleep. For my bedtime, I've chosen 8:30. I love the morning time, especially
8:30. Yeah, you don't have to be an 8:30 person because he loves the morning time. If you're not a morning person, it doesn't have to be this way.
4 hours of time I have all by myself. No one's calling me, no one's messaging me. I have it all to myself. So I really like to go to bed at 8:30. Then I have the morning wide open. That's it.
I realize this is becoming a trend. Most highly functioning people, they tend to be an early riser. They tend to wake up in the very early AMs.
Bed, you do you. If you're a night owl and you prefer to go to bed later, that's okay. Just choose your bedtime and be consistent. Level 3 is have a wind down routine. I know from personal experience that when I go to bed and I'm thinking about the day's problems or some opportunity, anything that's on my mind, if my head hits a pillow all night long, I'll just think about it. So what I do now is
this is actually the sleep battle. The first battle actually, we go through before we fall asleep, because a lot of the time, there's so many things, especially if you had an interesting day or you had a day that is, very negative. A lot of the time you keep replaying every situation, what you could have said, what you should have said, or just basically going on and on in your mind, having your own, creating your own story, creating your own series in your mind. And that can be very, very stressful, because sometimes, and also very annoying, because especially when you want to get to sleep, you want to fall asleep, and you have to wake up in the morning, probably to get something very serious done. You have an important meeting or something very important that you need to be refreshed. You need to get your full quality sleep. And the anxiety can actually get through you. The best thing you can do, what I've noticed, is just let it happen. Because a lot of the time, the more you try to fight it, is the more it's actually it just bring you into its fear, into the how you call this thing? Into a maze. So the best thing to do is when you are laying in bed and your mind is just keep replaying everything that you're gonna do for the following day, or everything that happened during the day, the best thing you can do is just let it happen, realize it's happening, and then tell yourself, okay, I need to get to sleep. So basically, you want to be like an observer, just watching your mind, just listening to what's going on. And when you catch yourself, just remind yourself, okay, I need to fall asleep. I need to get to sleep now. Sometimes you're just not ready to sleep. So this is why it's important to have a sleep ceremony or sleep routine, something that a sleep prep, to say.
Is sleep Brian enters the equation 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. And if an incoming thought says, oh, you should be worried about this, or you should think about that, Sleep Brian says, thank you for suggestion. Sleep mode is now engaged.
True.
So I would encourage you, create a ritual, read a book, go for a walk, do some favorite hobby, but avoid screens and avoid anything that's going to get you aroused. Don't have fights. Don't tackle hard problems. Get ready for bed.
True. Yeah, you don't want to have anything that's going to get you aroused, for real. This is why whenever your mind is racing, they call it sometimes the monkey mind, basically is all over the place. And whenever it's racing, your thoughts basically taking over. It's just stopping you from falling asleep. You forget. You just know. Sometimes you even forget that you're actually laying in bed. You just catch yourself just processing things, just overthinking things. That could be something very good. It depends on the person. It depends on what it is exactly, because that can be a very good thing. Meaning, in some cases, you can use that moment to actually plan for your day ahead. So you can say, okay, I'm going to be doing this and that and this, just get yourself mentally ready. But you don't want to be taking hours. It should be something that takes like less than 3 minutes long. So basically the best thing you want to do if you want to fall asleep the quickest is when these mind games or thoughts are actually racing your mind, is just basically to accept them, to not fight them. Because if you fight them, then you're going to become part of the fight and you're going to stay up longer.
Level 4 is to eat early. I know this because I tried hundreds of experiments with food types and eating times.
Yes, to eat early, that's a good thing, but also to not eat too early, because sometimes you can be so hungry that you cannot fall asleep. And a lot of the time when this happens is, yeah, you gotta find something. Meaning that if you have a, just like you have a sleep routine, it's good to have a meal routine as well. A time that you actually eat your meal, or especially the last meal of the day, your dinner. And if you eat your dinner probably too early, and then based on your bedtime, you're gonna be sleeping a bit later. So let's say more than 4 hours, you can become very hungry, and that can actually keep you up. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to be drinking any liquid. So you want to time your dinner or snack after dinner very, efficiently, that just it wouldn't bother your sleep, meaning that it's not something that is not a heavy meal, and at the same time it's not gonna be too liquid like, because you don't want to be getting up too much or getting up at all during the night to go to pee, because that will disturb your sleep pattern, because you have to get back to sleep again, and especially for the fact that you're gonna have to turn on your lights to see where you're going.
And I found that I slept the best with Blueprint food and my last meal of the day at 11 a.m. Now that may sound early to you, it is, but I got used to it. Now,
yeah, 11 a.m. He's really extreme, but that's his method, because I believe his last meal, he started to have his meals between 8 and 11 a.m. and after 11 a.m. he don't eat anything. He fasts for the until the following day. That is not for everyone, but basically you want to leave at least minimum 2 hours with something light in your stomach before going to sleep.
this does not mean that you need to eat at 11 a.m. as well.
Sure.
What this means is it's an invitation for you to try to explore eating earlier and also trying to avoid big heavy meals at the end of the day that could really be having a negative effect on your sleep. When I go out for social events, I will eat something. Sometimes I try to find a light food like steamed vegetables or something.
Exactly. Just
Something like
just something to keep your stomach active, or to keep your stomach busy, just to to just hush it up. It shouldn't be something that's gonna get you full. You shouldn't, especially during the nighttime, when you know you're gonna fall asleep, or you're gonna need to sleep minimum 4 hours or maximum 4 hours. You need to eat something. If you're gonna eat something, it has to be light, because or else it's gonna disturb your stomach. Is gonna be active during the nighttime as you sleep, and it's gonna disturb the quality of sleep that you actually get.
Because having a plate in front of me with food makes everyone feel comfortable. If I don't have it, then everyone's like, why are you not eating? And it's a whole thing. So I really try to blend in to avoid creating chaos in social situations. All right, level 5 is hopefully an obvious one. You want to avoid stimulants or anything that's going to disrupt your sleep. That includes alcohol and caffeine.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of the time people think that whenever they basically to drink alcohol and then go to sleep, but that's another thing too, because when you drink alcohol, it keeps your stomach, it keeps your body active. So you're not really getting quality sleep. This is the reason why also you tend to get hangover when you have a night after you just drink heavily. So when it comes to caffeine, you know that already.
No, personally, if I drink any alcohol in the latter part of the day, my deep sleep is going to be about 80% less. It just decimates my sleep.
So from 100% to 80%, so a 20% decrease in sleep quality whenever we consume alcohol in the evening or just before going to sleep.
So I now have no alcohol.
And did you guys know this? It is said that the best time to actually have alcohol is in the evening between, like, let's say in the afternoon, but it's not ideal either. It's not ideal because in the afternoon, during that time between 3 and 6, let's say the latest 8, yeah? And these are the ideal time to have alcohol, but I mean, you're not going to be drinking on the job, and you shouldn't, especially, afterwards it's okay, but after a certain time, depends on the time you're gonna fall asleep as well, because if the alcohol is still in your system, it's gonna restrict the depth of your sleep.
Then of course, caffeine, we metabolize caffeine at different speeds, but I've stopped all caffeine as well. It really has helped me improve my sleep. So just for you to consider, that these things may potentially be degrading your quality of sleep, and to be mindful of what you consume and when you consume it. Level 6 is regulate light in the evening. So a few things for you to keep in mind is I have an app on my computer, Flux, F-L-U-X. It eliminates blue light from the screen. 2 is if I'm watching a movie with friends.
Oh yeah, I have that in my computer too. I mean, especially if you have a MacBook, you can set it up, and also in your mobile phone, you can set it up at a certain time when the sun is gone, when daylight is gone. So basically, your phone has let's say a protective layer on it. So basically, to not disturb your natural rhythm. The glasses, though, that's something I need to invest in.
Friends, I'll put on a pair of blue light blocking glasses.
Blue light blocking glasses.
Do you want a bite?
I'm on a diet, but thank you.
My room is entirely blacked out with curtains, and if I'm traveling, I will wear a mask. And so you're trying to avoid light that is going to otherwise disrupt your sleep, and just be mindful. Probably the most important thing here is just try to eliminate screens in that downtime before bed. Level 7 is to maintain an ideal temperature for your sleep. Now, I think Goldilocks got this right. Not too hot, not too cold. You, of course, we can say specific numbers, but everyone's different. And so more important is, either it being too hot or too cold is going to create suboptimal sleep. And there's also considerations with a partner and other members in the family. So just be mindful that you don't want to be in either one of the extremes. So for my own personal temperature control, I use an 8 sleep mattress. And during my deep sleep, it's down to 71 Fahrenheit. And then during my REM, it's up to 73. Consider changing your thermostat or aircon settings, experimenting with different types of bedding, and opening doors.
Oh, wow. This is better.
For increased airflow. Level 8 is creating a peaceful sleep environment for you, for your family, for your children. Now, I have 3 kids. If I could travel back in time, I would sit everyone down and say, we are a sleep family. And here are the rules of how we do sleep. We go to bed on time. We never get up at night. We never wake anyone up unless we feel like our life is being threatened. You're doing them a favor, and you're setting them up with good habits that will endure throughout their life. But also other things. One of my neighbors has barking dogs. So I called her, and she was more than willing to say, I understand your bedtime is at 8:30, so after 8:30, I will make sure they're in the home, in their kettles. Very considerate. So you can do things with neighbors, with partners, with friends. Don't feel shy in asking.
Yeah, it's all about communication. And some neighbors, basically, they don't know that they are unaware that their dogs probably are annoying. Sometimes these things don't come to people's mind. So it's best to, a lot of neighbors are understanding. I hope you have one that is also understanding, and just communicate with them. And yeah, so there was one other thing I want to cover, but I'll come back to it.
Oftentimes it makes a better environment for everybody. Now, one more thing to mention is for my sleep environment, I do nothing in my bedroom except for sleep.
This is what I wanted to mention as well.
I don't read in there. I don't watch movies. I don't hang out.
So basically, it's the same routine that I actually use as well. Bedroom only for sleep, grown-up stuff also. But, it's no TV in there. No, it's not for, okay. Sometimes, I do take my phone because, my phone is where my alarm, but the screen is protected and it's in sleeping mode, so I have some other things that I do, and it's always dark as well. So it really helps. It's kind of like training yourself, because the moment you enter your bedroom at a certain time, your body automatically just it's just switched into sleeping mode. This is what it's about. Just creating the environment, training yourself to jump from one state to another state, from one mode to another mode.
Out is for sleep, because I'm telling my body, when you get into this position,
True.
Your objective is sleep. And if you're doing things all day, then your body can get confused. So it's really important to have a dedicated sleep environment. It will improve the quality of your sleep. And there's one more thing, which may be a little bit controversial, is if you can sleep alone, you may want to consider it.
My wife said, no,
Oh yeah.
Not here, Buck.
It's pretty hard to synchronize the sleep routines and preferences of two people. And
True. I don't know if you guys realize this, especially if you let's say when you're single and then you're single, you're sleeping in your bed alone, and then you have people over, you have you're dating, and then you realize, okay, you sleep together, and then you realize the following day your sleep quality is not the same. And that's not for everyone, because some people just like to be spooning and like to have the physical contact. But yeah, just like he said, if it's something that you can actually manage and communicate with your significant other, it will be ideal. But just or else just get yourself a big bed, a king queen size, so you can have your side to to freely spread yourself, and your significant other can have their side as well. And definitely do get a huge blanket, because you don't want to be fighting with over blankets during the nighttime.
there can be a lot of wake events between the two. So if it's a possibility and you can have that conversation, you may want to strongly consider sleeping independently, because it may yield higher quality sleep for both of you. Level 9 is light. The first thing I do in the morning, I wake up around 5:30 naturally every day, is I turn on 10,000 lux, and I do that for a few minutes. It tells my body, you're awake, the day's beginning. It helps with mood, it helps with energy, and again, it tells the body, we get up at this time and now we're up. It's so important to tell your body exactly when to go to bed and when to wake up, and you start having these compounded benefits as you repeat these behaviors continually. I think that's why, in large part, I was able to achieve an 8-month perfect sleep score, is I was able to tune my body so well that it knew exactly what to expect every single day. Now, if you don't,
it's like creating a ceremony. But what he's speaking about is us basically, especially if you're living in the cold climates, when during the winter time it's very the daylight is very short, and the light quality, the sunlight, we don't get enough of it. That can very much affect your mood, and it can make you, especially you can tell that for yourself too. And if you live in a cold climate, when it's during the winter time, when the weather is like basically it's raining, dark, and yeah, darkness during the daytime, it can make you feel very down. But when it's sunny out, you can just feel more energized. You feel like you want to do more, you can get more done. So this is the reason why it's good to have bright lights therapy, like in the morning, just a moment that you wake up, to actually, create that illusion of the sun. Basically, that's what it is. And bright lights also help you to wake up, to be fully awake.
Wake up at 5 or 5:30, or you have a preference to go outside, please do so. The sunlight is great. I too enjoy the sunlight. I typically try to avoid the times of day between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when the UV index is high, but the morning and the night are great times to get sunlight exposure. Level 10 is
mornings are the best time, because that's when your body start to make serotonin, and serotonin is connected to light, and mellow is connected to darkness. So that's why in the morning you want to get some serotonin to actually get boosted, to get you that natural energy and that feeling good, mood, and being positive, being energized. That's why in the morning, especially, even if you are indoors and it's sunny sometimes, and you cannot be outside, you cannot be sunbathing if you live in a cold climate, of course not. So what you can do is just open your window, close your eyes, let the sunlight just basically hit your face, and do that for minimum 15 minutes. And that's gonna also to help your mood, to help you to feel better.
gathering data. Now, I would have put this at number 1, but it does cost money, and I've been mindful of trying to put everything that's free ahead of it. But data has been the most important thing I've done. It's helped me create intuitions and knowledge about what improves my sleep and what worsens it. My main tool for tracking sleep is my Whoop band, which tracks how much sleep I got each night, the quality of that sleep, and how much I exerted myself each day.
I don't know if this is, it is helpful because you can get the data from it and you can track your sleep rhythm or your sleep quality. But the thing is, I don't know for some people, but for me, whenever I'm asleep, I cannot have anything in my wrist, or I need to get fully comfortable. So I haven't tried this. I don't know how it actually feel on in your wrist. So maybe it could be something that you don't even think about, or maybe it can be something that's like a hindrance, and yeah, that can also disturb your sleep, because like sleeping with a watch, even though the watch might be thin, it could be sometime a hindrance. It can be annoying.
Just to put this in context, imagine you're training for a 1 mile race. You couldn't do it without a stopwatch. You couldn't just guess how fast you're running. Even though you can approximate your speed, you don't know if you're improving or not. So that's 10 things for you to become a professional sleeper. You can do this. Get into the habits and make them non-negotiable. If your favorite show drops and your bedtime, don't watch it. Go to bed. You're telling your body, we have a routine and we're going to be consistent on that routine. And you may find that so many of your other problems in life are going to resolve themselves when you're getting routine, high quality sleep. So when you
True. Because a lot of the time we can basically make our problem larger than they actually are, because we are tired, we just lack of sleep, and we're just thinking that, okay, it's gonna be the end of the world. It's such a huge deal, while we just basically don't have enough sleep, and that's making us feel, puts you on the edge.
go through the levels and you master them, send me a note and tell me you've achieved mastery. It will change your life, I promise.
All right, it will definitely change your life. Then this was about sleep, how to fix your sleep pattern quality, and basically if you're suffering with sleep apnea, and also for your mood as well. Because sleep is very important. It helps you to stay stable. So this was about it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.